And we're on the other side of the bridge. Got a better view looking up at the old truck.
Oh my gosh.
Hey everyone, MinerBiker here. We're miner hiking today. We are in the Grand Staircase, Escalante National Monument. We are on the Scootampah Road, and we are at Bull Valley Gorge. This place is awesome. We used to come and hike this when I was a kid. This is not very far up the Scootampah Road from the ranch that I grew up on. So yeah, haven't hiked this for 20 something years, and we are finally back to do Bull Valley Gorge. This thing is cool. It's an amazing slot canyon, but also has some crazy history behind it. So this is the Bull Valley Gorge Bridge. This is the new bridge. So the original bridge washed out just a few years ago, 2019, I believe. It washed out because the original bridge, all they did was they just bulldozed rocks and logs and debris into the gorge until they wedged in the upper narrowest part of the slot and then pushed dirt over it and called it a bridge. That was all there was. And that lasted for decades until finally it gave up the ghost in 2019. And they built a real concrete and steel bridge over it, which is much better. Even has guardrails, which the other one never had. And the coolest thing about Bull Valley Gorge, which is also sad because it was a terrible tragedy, but in 1954, there was 3 guys in a pickup truck driving the Scootampah Road. They crossed this bridge. Their truck stalled on the east side of the bridge. They rolled backwards, missed the bridge. The truck fell backwards into the gorge. The truck bed could fit into the crack. The cab couldn't. Crushed the cab, killed the 3 guys, but the truck is still hanging there to this day. Don't worry, they got the bodies out of it. So there's not skeletons or anything like that in it, but the truck is still hanging in the gorge underneath the bridge and has been there since 1954. So crazy. This is the Bull Valley Gorge slot right here. You can see some of these big rock jams and stuff that we actually go under. And this is looking back down at the bridge. So you can see the new bridge up overhead. And then underneath you can see all the old rock and debris and everything that's jammed in the slot. So that was the old bridge. It's just rocks, logs wedged into the crack with dirt pushed over them. And that was the bridge. There's another view of the bridge. You probably can't see it on the GoPro, but you can see the old truck in the crack right down there. Again, you probably can't see it on the GoPro. We'll be able to see it much better when we're in the slot down right underneath it. And you can just look up and you literally are looking at the tailgate of the truck hanging over your head. Hey, you can see the front of the truck straight down below us. Look at that. You can see it's just right there. You could never see that before from here because it was all buried under the bridge. So that's actually the remains of the old bridge right there, is just all that debris jammed in the slot. So our plan of attack here is to actually hike this the same way we used to quite often. We're actually going to head downstream along the rim of the gorge for a little ways to a good entry exit point that's down here that we used to use quite a bit. And then we hike up through the slot, up underneath the bridge, climb out the top. Sometimes there's big obstacles right at the very top of the slot up above the bridge that sometimes can be impassable. That's why I like doing it this way, is because then if you get up there and you can't get all the way out, you can just turn around and cruise back down and come out the same way we're going in. I was following this little route here along the edge of the gorge. It's down there below us. You're probably 150, 200 feet deep. All right, so we're about a mile-ish below the bridge. We have reached our entry exit point here. I'm going to try really hard not to drop and break the GoPro. I've got to wonder a little bit, especially when I'm in the lead, huh? Especially back retracing old trails and routes from my memory down here. You just never know for sure what we're going to get into. Whee! Not as rough and sketchy as I remember coming down that. We made it to the bottom. Alright, so from there where we dropped in, we're just gonna head down canyon just a little ways, down to where it starts to open up. We're mostly at the bottom end of the slot here, but we'll go down just a little bit. And then we'll turn around and head up the slot all the way up to the bridge, and hopefully can make it all the way up and out the top. If not, I'll just come down and climb out where we just came in. Nice little narrow spot. Such a cool slot. Love Bull Valley Gorge. A long time ago, now it's probably, I don't know, 10-ish or so, my mom, me, my own sister, and some other friends who actually came and hiked the whole loop here with Bull Valley Gorge, all the way down Bull Valley where it joined up with Sheep Creek. Then we went up Sheep Creek to Willis Creek, then up Willis Creek, jet back to the Scooting Power Road for a big loop. We were gonna do that loop today, but we decided instead of doing that, a lot because it's pretty warm for the dogs and the stretch through Sheep Creek is pretty wide open. We decided we're just gonna out and back Bull Valley, or do a small loop with Bull Valley, and then gonna go and out and back Willis Creek and not do the connection through Sheep Creek in the middle. That'd be better probably to come back and do when it's a little bit cooler. And plus, if you do that and you don't have a second vehicle or a bike or something that you can leave at one of the trailheads, you have to hike almost 2 miles just on dirt road between the two trailheads, which we didn't feel like doing. So we're just doing Bull Valley here, then we're gonna jump over and hit Willis Creek for the second half of this video. So we're heading back up. From here on, the canyon just opens up more. So we're gonna head back up here and get into the actual proper slot. That's what we just came down to get down into the canyon. So now we're gonna head on up towards the bridge. It'll be it's about a mile from here to the bridge. Hopefully there's nothing too crazy, but you never know. I'm sure it's changed a bit in the last 20 years. These slot canyons would change every time they flooded. You'd come back and stuff was moved around and changed. Let alone after 20 years. Who knows what it'll be like. It's so crazy how it's pretty wide at the bottom and then gets narrower as you go up. So cool. So nice and cool when you get here in the narrows. Just alternating harder layers and softer layers. The softer ones are getting eroded more. I think I remember this one. This one looks kind of familiar because you had to climb up and over it to the left here to get past it. It's perfect. Literally like somebody's got a air conditioner parked at the top of the canyon, just blowing down it. Hell yeah, we're getting real now. Woohoo! This is the kind of spots that you come in here right after a storm or too early in the season, this would just be full of water. Muddy, gooey water. So awesome. Look at them logs wedged up over your head. Oh man, this is so awesome. Hey buddy, we're coming. You scouting it out for us?
It makes me feel so small.
You can just imagine those little kids out here. They love this. Hold on, buddy. Let's look at it. Unless you can, no, you can't. I don't think you can get through there.
It's kind of tilting to your right there.
What's that?
When you're putting your foot on here, it was kind of shifting to the right.
Well, that little rock jam was an adventure. Ended up having to put the dog's harnesses on. One of us at the top with the leash hooked to the harness, and the other one at the bottom giving them a boost and kind of push and pull / lift to get them up that. It was bigger than they could jump, and not really a good way to just boost them from the bottom. It was a little too tall. But we got them up. That's the main reason we brought their nice harnesses and stuff, because not exactly what they're designed for, but they do work to lift the dogs if you need to. Stand under this log right here. This won't be too bad. You can just go up there to the left. Here, buddy, up this way, up to the left.
Oh my gosh, dog.
Hey, at least you tried.
Good girl.
Should be almost to the bridge. Hope we're getting close. I bet a lot of this material is like some of these old, big old logs and stuff like this. I wouldn't be surprised if they came from that old bridge, especially where that has saw cuts in it. I wouldn't be surprised at all if that's from the old bridge. Yep, one tiny little crack. Place where some pine cone got deposited by some flood a long time ago. He decided he could make a living there. Come here, bud. How's it going? Oh, so that's all that's left. That's all that's left of the old bridge. The old bridge used to run from here clear over to where the truck was. That whole thing was jammed full. Yep, so here we are at the bridge. So that's all that's left of the old bridge. Right there. It used to fill from there clear over to where the old truck is. That whole crack was stuffed full of material that was the bridge, and all that's washed out now. So the new bridge goes right over the top of that bit that's left. And then right there you can see the old truck that's been hanging there since 1954. And the crazy thing is you can tell that if that truck had come in almost any other place, it probably could have made it all the way to the bottom. It came in one of the few spots where it caught right on that point and got stuck. There you go, looking straight up at the old truck. You know, and you come through here, before that truck was underneath the bridge, because after the truck had fell into the canyon, they got the bodies out, and then they actually widened the bridge by pushing the bridge out over the truck. But now that the old bridge is all washed out, other than that little bit that's left, now the truck's just hanging there isolated, which actually is way cooler because now you can see it a lot better. You used to basically just be able to see the back end and the one side. Everything else is covered. That's just so awesome. And just to think of the amount of water it took to fill this crack up deep enough to wash that bridge out, because I think that's probably 150 feet over our heads. It filled this crack deep enough to wash out that bridge, which is just, that right there is mind-boggling. Holy cow. And we're on the other side of the bridge. Got a better view looking up at the old truck and the remains of the old bridge and the new bridge up above it. You just want to jump it?
Nope.
I can do it right here if you want to. Piece of cake. This is that big rock jam that we were looking down on from the top, up above the bridge. Might be able to go up around here on the left. Yeah, we probably could. You guys want to go up here? Hooky over here. Come on, let's go up that way. Up you go.
That was quite a leap.
From a standstill. I'll put that pretty easy.
Yep.
Hi, Pooch. Get it for him.
Oh, ouch.
Up, buddy. Hey, come on in. Good job. Dog party. Everybody's cool as I remember being. You can tell we're climbing up for each shower.
Mm-hmm.
You just keep working up until you can pretty much just walk out of it. Oh, yeah. Doggies up there. Third one way through. Oh, now climb the log, buddy. Now climb the log. You're right up the log, buddy. It's like, yeah, you want to just go come up?
Oh my gosh.
She made it. She made it like 3/4 of the way up the log and she started slipping off, so she like kind of wall rode this side a little bit.
It was like a pinball. She's like, oh no. That last one was pretty scary.
You watching her, buddy? Make sure she can make it.
Ouch. Good job.
Up you go. Come on.
There you go. I know. That was kind of scary.
It could be. It relieves your stress, chewing a rock.
I didn't even see that rock.
Next round. Come on, Bean. Come on. Okay, go to Mama. Hey, Hook, come here. Over here, bud. Come here. Here, hop right up here. Okay, just head to Mom. Good boy. That made it easier. There's some dogs. That's a bit of a jam. Turn and pose with that one.
And yeah, right where brother went. Right up here. There you go.
We're gonna need somebody to boost them from the bottom. Just boost them right up this while the other person's at the top with the leash pulling. In fact, we probably need both leashes to get more length.
Hook, hang on, buddy.
Come on, come on. Come on, come on. Go, Hook, go. Come on, Anya. Come on, honey. Let's go.
Get your brazos there, yeah.
Come on. Go through the hole. You get all cleaned up. Good job, you made it. Hang on, now get ready. Come on. Well, that was an adventure. Good thing we had the harnesses and the leashes to hoist the dogs up. Otherwise, I'm not sure we would have got them up that last one. That was too big to boost them and too steep for them to do on their own. And now we're up and out of the top of the slots. We'll just come up here and get on the right-hand side here, the east side of the canyon, and follow that back to the bridge. And now we head back down this east side of the canyon, all the way back to the bridge. Oh, it's fun though. I've been wanting to come back and do Bull Valley for a long time. Alrighty, we made her back to the bridge. Oh man, that was awesome. Not only just because Bull Valley Gorge is awesome, it's so fun to go back and see and do something again that we enjoyed doing so much as kids. Now we're done with Bull Valley Gorge, we're actually going to jump back in time several hours to this morning and the first hike that we did today, which was the next canyon over Willis Creek. We hiked the narrows of Willis Creek, so we'll jump back in time to that one for the second half of this video. All right, now we are over at Willis Creek. It's actually earlier in the morning than the first part of this video over at Bull Valley. But I wanted to do Bull Valley first. And now that morning, we're in Willis Creek. We're heading down into Willis Creek, and as you can see, it gets started right off the bat with the creek itself diving off down into the first part of the Willis Creek Slot Canyon, which is super pretty. And they left the water running. It's so pretty. So pretty. Cool little stretch of narrows down through there. It's about as narrow as Willis Creek ever gets. We'll go up around this little slot section, drop in. That'd be a little technical to try and get the dogs down. One lone chunk of rock, harder than everything else. Not giving up. This side canyon off of Willis Creek right here is called Averitt Canyon. So beautiful, especially the ponderosa trees. Everybody knows I love ponderosas. I think I have at least vague memories of this big boulder sitting in the middle of the canyon. Huge old tree growing down here. Oh. Alrighty, we've reached the bottom of Willis Creek where we join up with Sheep Creek. We're going to turn right and go down Sheep Creek a little ways in search of a certain spot that is stuck in my memory that I want to find again. Now I'll turn around and head back up. This right here is what we're looking for, is this big slab of rock. By itself, fairly unremarkable, but I have an old photograph of when I was probably 10-ish of me trying to run and climb up this slab of rock while my two sisters are up leaning over the lip up at the top trying to grab my hand so I can make it up and over. Getting our way back up Willis Creek now that we successfully located that big rock and had some fun doing our best to recreate our old family photo on it. That was fun to see that again. Now we're going to do our little detour up into Averitt Canyon, go see the Averitt Monument. Maybe we can't go up Averitt Canyon. This rock is going to block our route. We're not going up Averitt Canyon. That rock's wedged right in there. People could probably climb up through that crack and get around it, not dogs. Alright, so it's several hours and quite a bit of hiking later, but we stopped at the top of Averitt Canyon to come down and visit the Averitt Monument since we couldn't get up from the bottom, as you just saw. This is the Averitt Monument. This is this original headstone right there with EA carved on it, 1866. And this is a newer monument that was put in place in memory of Elijah Everett Jr., killed here by Indians in 1866, buried by his comrades of the Captain James Andrews Company of the U.S. Cavalry. Yep, fellow killed by Indians. That would have been back during the Black Hawk War. But he was killed here and buried right here, and there's your Averitt Monument. So with that, we'll jump back down to Willis Creek. Back up through the little creek. Everyone, that does it for our little adventure in Bull Valley Gorge and Willis Creek. Hopefully y'all enjoyed that. Some classic southern Utah slot canyons here in the Grand Staircase. So cool to come back and see them again after we used to hike these same canyons so long ago. Did it so many times when I was a little kid. So fun to come back and do it. So thanks for watching. Check out the other videos on the channel, especially any that will be specifically linked in the cards or in the description. And leave us a comment down below. Like that hit button, especially for the dogs. Always leave a like for them. If you have already subscribed, thank you so much. If you haven't, I invite you to do so. And keep digging up new places to hike or ride. Whatever's your preference.